Stream test.
Boo.
You. Hello, stream.
Okay, so how are we?
There we go. Okay.
Welcome to hell.
Come on.
It pretty much goes live as soon as I hit it. But the loading side to make sure it's working, it likes to take its time. Let me make sure everybody say hi.
Hello, stream.
Okay, so how?
Let me make sure everybody say hi.
Hello,
Okay,
stream.
so how?
Let me make sure everybody.
Sprechen Sie
Fuck.
Deutsch?
That's gonna be awful when I listen back.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
gonna be really bad.
that was awful because I got it
Oh,
twice.
yes.
I had to get it
I
twice.
got it twice.
Yes, you did.
Fucking hell. Okay.
I'm in a nightmare because I'm just hearing everything twice because I'm also checking it. It's working. I can tell you
audio is
that.
good. No more worries.
Nice.
Okay. Well, while I clean my glasses, you may narrate or recap and drop us in, sir. I'm ready to
All
go.
right, well, we left off after quite a sight, actually. To be quite honest, after everybody defeated the strange, sentient, evil blood puddle that had invaded the ship, we went about our day, just kind of doing whatever, and then Sorena began working on Maxon's ship. Alex walked up to help, and she not only brushed him off, but was very standoffish, very angry, very
Suspicious.
something going on. He watched her for a second, and who all was in there again? Was it
Was not
It
me, I
was-
don't believe.
Maxon,
It was Raziel
Raziel
and
Maxon.
Alex.
Yeah.
Well, I guess those were not involved. Raziel and Max, and you would see Alex walk over, offer Sorena a hand, or not accept. They both pause for a moment, and then Alex kind of grabs her by the nape of the neck and starts dragging her through the ship. And after a lot of fighting, a lot of dents put right back into the hull, they wrestled Sorena into a cot and sedated her with the help of Doc Green. And they took the device that Alex had offered to her and applied it, and I'll say we come back in on that. As the device has been planted on Sorena's face, and it kind of wraps around and makes some form of, like, not exactly a helmet, but it does, like, extend out around the back of her head as well as the top. What is everybody doing?
Hmm.
I need to get my mind off of some stuff.
Oh, I forgot. Stone had a breakthrough in his research. He was probably still looking into that.
Okay. I was about to say, you can do whatever you want. I wanted to offer it to everybody before we kind of transitioned.
Yeah, Stone kind of
into
came in
other
on the
things.
backside of this and was just like, "Hey guys, I had a break. Whoa, what the fuck's going on in here?
Guys, you're not gonna believe what the fuck.
You're not gonna
Exactly.
believe what you're doing to our friend."
I was like, oh, that's what her face looks
Oh
like.
my.
Okay. So yeah, Stone, if you want to go back to reading, we'll just say that you go back to that. We'll have you roll for that a little later.
Then.
You can go ahead and place yourself wherever you would like to read. Does anybody else have anything specific that they would like to do?
I do. Sleep.
We know what you're doing.
You don't count. You
Shut
don't
up,
get a
fool,
choice.
you're unconscious.
You're right. As a matter of fact, I can't count very well.
Seraphim is probably just like after they put on the things like, okay, so is it working? How does this work? This is new.
Alex, he seems to be like turning a few dials on the side, and then he looks back up to you. I'm not exactly sure. when it was used, when I used it, when it was given to me, it made the memories of using it kind of foggy. I'm kind of just relying on muscle memory at the moment. What feels like what I did. And he just kind of continues to turn a few dials, and then he just kind of stops and kind of stands over her.
Seraphim's writing down. Okay, turn this one, turn this one. Hopefully it'll work the same. Maybe we never know when you might need it. We might need it again. Oh. But if you're, I'll believe in you. You're the one who's used it, so I'm gonna let you take the reins on this.
As you say that, Hammer takes a bit of a step forward and kind of runs his fingers along it. I could also see if Acolyte could find a way in to do something.
Do what
I'm
exactly?
not sure what. I'm not sure, but I could see if he could find any access point or something similar.
Would you be able to interact in that kind of situation?
Perhaps I've interacted in digital states with people in virtual simulated things before. Kind of said he sounds somewhat distracted as he's like kind of like running his finger over the device, already kind of analyzing it as he looks at it. It would be worth a shot, I feel like.
Seraphim pats his shoulder. If you're sure.
I'll see what I can do then. Okay. Raziel, what did you say you were doing?
I was gonna say I need to distract myself from this because this is a really messed up situation that's been going on. But I still don't fully understand why we're doing what we're doing. I just know she had an issue. I was gonna ask Seraphim, do you have anything that needed worked on? Because I need a project to distract me for a little bit.
Do I have anything?
Or anybody in the room have anything that might need to be worked on?
If you could help me with the metal research, that would be helpful.
As
That's all I can think of.
after Stone says that, Alex looks up and says, "You could always go buff out the dents in the hull."
Seraphim just stroking his chin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could hear those dents. That was
Sorry, that was not that funny, but it caught me off guard.
He was knocking and it wasn't polite.
You need God.
Big little pig, let me in.
But yeah, you are free to do whatever, Raziel. There's no bearing on anything.
I'll see what I can do about the holes on the way with Stone.
Sounds good.
I don't think dry
Alright.
ice is going to make those dents come out. I'm just saying.
From Reese Crane's room.
They're probably gonna pop out before I even get there because the ship's freaking sentient.
Ah, it's freaking hilarious.
Alright, I believe that just leaves Maxon. What is Maxon going to do as we kind of transition into the next kind of...
He also needs something.
Okay, if he needs something built in.
Which I want to say makes a lot of sense given the situation.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess,
paranoid he was. What did you
Alright,
do to
then
my
yeah.
ring?
What is he gonna do then? Just...
Maybe if anyone needs help.
I was about to say you could go like inspect your ship if you wanted to stay
Yeah,
here and
I'm
help
gonna go check it
Alex
out.
and... Okay. And then yeah, go ahead and go place yourself at the hangar and then we'll jump back to you in a second.
Where's that?
It's the first floor. It's the one with this piece here. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So as everybody kind of shuffles out, Dot Green kind of wheels herself up to the cot, and she looks to Seraphim and Alex and Hammer, the only people really left in the room. I would like to be of more help, but I need to step into the regeneration chamber for the night.
Oh, let me help you.
Okay. She bids Hammer and Alex good night, and then she gets in. We'll just say that you quickly help her just get into the pod, and she is out for the night. And we will say that Hammer is kind of just fiddling with the device, trying to plug it into an outlet from one of the walls. He doesn't say anything, but it seems to be going at least somewhat well. And Alex is just kind of... Alex seems to just be standing over, just watching, not saying anything. And then, with all of our bases covered in the physical world, Sorena.
Yes.
You wake up on your back. Eyes closed, on your back.
And try and lift my arms.
You lift your arms. Do you open your eyes, or do you just lift your arms?
Just lift my arms to see if I can feel anything.
You lift your arms, but I will add that you have no recollection of what has recently transpired.
Makes sense.
In fact, your head feels remarkably clear. It hasn't felt this clear since you were young.
I'll open my eyes.
You see... I haven't really asked, how big is the black hole that Scaldare orbits?
Some days it's hard to tell. It's often just like looking at not a hole in the sense of how we call it a black hole, but it's just like a hole in where there should be stars. And around the edges there's little lines where the light of stars behind it the light is being bent.
You awaken to a
Yeah, you're good. It's just dark.
You awaken to a very familiar, dark sky. Though the ground you lay on and are surrounded by is not familiar. It seems to just be ash, dust, almost like a moon.
We'll sit up, kind of gauge my surroundings.
You seem to be surrounded just by a very smooth but dusty and ash covered plain, almost you could even say a desert. Though there does seem to be an odd looking tower off in the distance.
I'll look at the tower and look down at my surroundings again. Think for a second.
Oh, I need to also mention, you don't have your left arm. No surgical implants, no metal arm, just a stump.
I'll think for a second. And I'll stand up, dust myself off, and I'll start stepping towards that tower in the distance. At first somewhat reluctantly, but then I'll kind of start picking up my pace. Bit of a march.
You think at the pace you're going, it will probably take you maybe an hour to get there at that pace? Roll perception for me.
Oh, goody.
Also, you don't. Oh no!
I can't with this die. I'm gonna have to toss it somewhere. I don't know where. A
Natural
volcano,
one.
a river. I don't know. A natural one.
Little one.
Oh my god!
Ha!
Hell yeah.
Maybe it's telling a story. Let's see what he has to
Get
say.
some holy water.
Well,
Something.
this isn't a lucid dream now, I can tell.
You begin to walk, and as you do, you begin to keep pace. You look up at the sky, and you can't help but think of the past. Your past, specifically. Thoughts begin to wander in your head. Memories, dreams, wishes. And as you walk, and you get a little bit closer to the tower, you see that the architecture is not familiar. How would you describe the architecture on Sorena's home planet?
Bleak. Well, on the Prime world, it's bleak, but on her home, on the moon, it's still reads of the old ways. Rather than carving buildings out of bare stone, since it's easy and convenient on Skaldair Prime, here we still bring in metal, wiring, some futuristic housing, if you will. Houses made of various types of metal, usually steel. Not ectane, not what my armor is made of, because that would be silly. Be a very expensive house, but futuristic and advanced.
You see what looks like the ruins of buildings like this strewn about around you as you walk through. Nothing to loot, nothing there, essentially just what's left of the foundations. And as you get closer to the tower, you see that it seems to almost be made of like what looks like ivory, but it's like it almost looks like bone, but it has this shiny metallic appearance to it, and it just seems to be glowing with a blinding light.
This blinding light, it's emanating from where exactly?
The top.
The very top. Okay.
There seem to be what you assume might be windows that have light pouring out of them, but as you look down lower towards what you assume to be the entrance, the light seems to fade to a more normal amount.
I'll feel for a weapon I imagine isn't there.
Absolutely nothing.
And
as you look down, you actually see that you are wearing what I would say would be traditional, just casual wear. Something that Sorena would just wear on her home planet. Not before, not after the training, not after the surgeries. What she may have even worn as a child, almost. Just very whatever she may have worn, just common clothes.
Okay. I will stick my head around the corner and slowly enter the tower.
Before you enter the tower, just out of curiosity, what's your dexterity modifier?
+5.
Does a 24 hit?
It does, as a matter of fact, yes. At an AC of 15 in here, in this vision, yeah.
We won't make you roll for damage specifically, but you feel, as you go to enter the tower, you feel the blast of a very familiar rifle, and you hear a very familiar sound behind you. As a round rips into your back and knocks you to your feet. Or knocks you to your knees, sorry.
I'll, as it hits, I'll instant reaction roll, follow momentum, turn, and come up with one arm. Ready.
Roll for perception again for me.
Listen, motherfucker. We're gonna have problems. This isn't a threat. This is just me begging you, please work.
This isn't a threat. This is a promise.
Please.
Okay. Everybody take a breath. Breathe. It's all right. We're good.
Roll the 2.
It is the highest one yet, a 23.
Ooh, what is your stealth modifier?
My stealth mod is a +5, as I am not proficient.
Oh, very, very nice. So as you turn around and you take your defensive stance, you see the glinting of a scope, a very familiar glint, cresting over a hill, looking down on your position. And give me 1 second. You said your AC is a 15, right?
Yep, 15 without the armor.
You get shot in the chest, and it knocks you on your back again.
I'll once again follow momentum and kick to my feet, and then hide to the wall or hug the wall, and try and take cover.
As you kick to your feet and look to the position of where you saw the glint of the scope, you see that it's gone. And give me 1 moment. Whoever is shooting at you, they're gone now, but you assume that they are moving closer to close in as you hold the spot on your chest that is now hurting from being shot, as well as your back.
I will first crouch down and stick my hand in the dirt or ash or whatever is available and get this off of me before it starts to burn my skin, as I've been holding it for a moment. And then rip part of my ant leg and kind of put it to it and try to duck into the tower if I can.
All right, you are able to duck into the tower, and as you enter, you just see what seems to be a very large database with it seems to be a large golden keyboard that someone seems to be typing at, and a giant spiral staircase that seems to go up to the top of the tower, and there's just a bright light at the top. And there seems to be what looks like a holographic screen being beamed up in front of the keyboard, and it seems that there seems to be various markings moving across it as whoever is sitting in front of you is typing.
I look to see if there's like a door to close, and if not, I'll stay out of like the line of the door and kind of move forward towards this person.
There is no way to close the door. It seems to just be open. Are you moving stealthily, or do you just approach?
I'm just approaching cautiously, but not stealthily.
Okay. As you approach, you get about halfway before the typing stops, and a chair turns to you, and it seems to just be, to the best of what you can describe, a gray amorphous being just kind of puddled in a chair-like receptacle with a large pseudopod kind of coming out with 2 blue glowing areas that you assume may be eyes or some kind of photosensitive area, and multiple other smaller pseudopods continuing to type as it turns to face you. It doesn't say anything, but it just continues to type, and it moves these glowing, the pseudopod with the glowing areas up closer to your face. Not intrusive, but just kind of slightly closer to get a better look at you.
I'll speak in my native tongue and say, what are you? What is this place?
Ooh. Natural 1. As you begin to speak, a pseudopod shoots out and grazes the side of your cheek as it narrowly avoids your mouth being open as you finish saying your speech. It doesn't hurt, but it does like graze past and just like hit and then just kind of pull back in. And it stops typing fully after this.
I'll take a step back and kind of like one hand up. I mean you no harm.
As you stick that hand up, it shoots another pseudopod out and attaches to your hand.
And I'll just kind of freeze and just kind of let it be.
As it kind of slowly envelops your hand, you don't feel any pain or anything like that, but you do feel a slight warmness, almost a buzzing feeling going through your hand as it kind of envelops it. And after a moment, you hear what almost starts as a ringing in your ear. And then the ringing fades into... So, are you the one who needs help?
Define help.
It moves it's what you assume is its face back over to the screen, and you see Alex looking over you, Seraphim, Hammer.
Does this feel...
You seem to be laying down.
Does this, like, seeing this here, does this feel, like, weirdly detached? Like, distant in my head? Or is this like, hey, I was there a second ago?
Oh no, it definitely feels distant. Like
you
a don't
remembered
understand.
But hazy-ish memory, something that happened a while ago. Kind of like that.
Like something... Like something that you were having explained to you after being way too drunk the night before and doing it.
What is this?
It is you, my friend. Trying to steal your brother-in-arms ship.
What?
Upon hearing this, like it's almost like you're hearing, like you went on this crazy bender and now people are telling you what you did. Like, it's unlike you. It's distant. Almost like they're saying someone else was doing something.
It can't be so.
But it was.
Why would I steal someone else's ship? I have my own.
Because his was in better working order. Could use it to your own ends. Get home quicker, maybe.
Quicker? I was somewhere else.
It turns back to face you, and then another pseudopod kind of shoots out and points towards your forehead. Because you were told to.
So I'm somewhere without my ship. And I tried to steal someone else's. Instead of just building one. Why?
Something is wrong, and it says that as it looks back to the screen and begins typing again. The vision of what I will refer to as the outside world fades, and you just see the sigils popping up again. We need to find the root of this. I may need your help. I want to help you.
Well, if I need help, I'll gladly lend a hand.
You feel almost like where it's enveloping your hand. You feel it almost like it squeezes your hand as you say this. That is good to hear.
Do you know what's outside?
But of course. It's what I showed you but a moment ago.
When I look down, is that wound still there?
Which wound are you referring to?
On my chest, this one.
Yes, it is still there. Oh, that. You're going to have to figure that out on your own, I'm afraid.
What is it?
It's an unfortunate part of this process. Once we have finished here, and I feel that you are ready, we will send you out for that. Shall we begin?
She kind of hesitates, kind of lingers on the thought of like feeling a little torn about being sent to destroy something that she doesn't understand, but she nods.
Well then, let's get to work. And he begins to pull up various things on the screen, and we will take a quick little spin back to the real world to move to the next day.
Snap back to reality.
All right. So if someone will roll weather for me, and if someone will roll encounter.
I will roll for weather since I haven't done that in
Okay. And then
7. Boy.
all right, give me. Oh wait, you
I
said
think
you
I
were
rolled
rolling
the
for
last
weather.
encounter.
What's the encounter roll?
Okay, yes, I'm not gonna. Let me use my real dice because I don't.
The encounter is a D100, and the weather is, since you guys are moving technically to a new biome, roll a D8.
I don't have a D100, so.
A D8
just
alone
roll
with
in
the
here.
encounter?
Your
Colton, if you're
D10 in your
Colton,
percentile die, the one that's got double digits on the
You
D10.
want me to roll the 100?
Robert, if you're rolling weather, just roll a D8 for me.
Okay.
I'll roll
7.
encounter after a 7.
Spotify really is trying to put on a show today. I don't know it's trying to be dramatic. I didn't do this.
So I was about to say, you leave the radioactive wastes to just a normal rainstorm. It almost kind of feels like the rainstorms that were coming out of the jungle. You're all safe to go outside. There's no radiation, but it's very dreary. Very hard to see.
Fitting.
Even with Rigel's light, you can't see past the insane illumination that they give off. And what was the encounter?
I rolled a 31.
Okay. Cool. How does everybody start their day? Who would like to go first?
Actually, I don't know. I think Stone would still be studying in where he was previously. He probably just fell asleep in there.
Okay. If you want to, Raziel, you were helping him research, right?
Yeah.
If you want to roll at advantage to just see how that went, like you could add your intelligence modifier to that, Stone.
And also throw my since I'm actively teaching him, I'll throw my reaction in, and so add a +5 onto that as well.
D20 plus intelligence, basically.
Yes.
Alrighty. Let's see what we got. Different dice this time, not using the last ones. Okay, so that's that, plus what is my intelligence modifier? I should have that file open. It is +1, so technically I rolled a 9.
Plus the 5 that I gave him from my reaction. And did you roll at advantage?
I do not have advantage in intelligence, I don't believe.
It is when I'm helping you.
Oh, it is.
You're being
Giving
assisted.
So I
He's giving you the help action. When you get a help action, you get the advantage.
Oh, that's nice then.
Get the brain buzzer hands out. Be intelligent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Do
I'm
smart.
actively teaching him.
so that's 14 then. On second roll.
Osmos
Plus
my
5.
IQ.
Is that 14 plus the +5 he's giving you as his reaction?
So 14.
So that's 19
then.
overall.
Yeah, 19 overall, yeah.
You are able to find more sources talking about the metal replacements. They seem to be entire like bones or things of that nature that seem to be replaced by some metal. They never seem to list the metal. You're only able to find essentially like news and magazine articles. They never go into much detail other than calling it a wonder metal. But you are able to find more, so it may have been
Nice.
it may have at least been like a new technology before the war.
Interesting.
Very much so. I always like learning new things about the world I've been introduced into.
So, question is, where was said material being researched?
You see that it was humans doing most of the research, and everything you seem to find about it seems to point to humans making it before the war. But like I said, no specifics. It just says science. It just refers to generic scientists.
That's
A thought to be expanded on later, since they may not have gotten very far in it.
exactly.
Yeah, I will say you're noticing a pattern. You're seeing the same picture of the same. It seems to be a replacement for a human femur bone made out of the metal. That picture seems to be coming up a lot. You assume that may have been one of, if not the only prototype.
Okay, so is there any information on where this person was possibly last seen, where I might be able to find the body with the femur?
The bottom of the ocean.
The bottom
Those
of
not.
the-
I mean, that would be like personal documents, and I mean, you see pictures of the scientists. Like it's most of the pictures with it are either it by itself or with a group of people. In any search you find with the scientists themselves, you see like some names, but no like location, especially not where they died. I mean, the world kind of just got obliterated in an instant, so there's really no recording where they died. You do seem to find that they all worked at a very specific location.
Oh, really?
At least they keep mentioning a name.
And what is this aforementioned name?
They seem to be mentioning Crane Genetics.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, I quickly move to see if I can find any research on Crane Genetics, as well as possibly finding a building or location of where it was.
Are
Might
you
have
looking
been
this
on
up
an
in the...
expedition, boys.
If I had
was with-
seen that, being there with him, I said, "Hey, isn't one of the names our fella downstairs go by Crane?"
Oh! That's actually a good idea.
At the
I-
bottom
I
of the
was-
ocean.
I was about to say, from what your characters would remember, that is the name of the person that one of Seraphim's personalities wants to violently end.
Ooh, there was some connection.
He's
my
the,
head somewhere.
he is the one that Seraphim is cloned from, and you know that you don't know specifically what he's done, but from what Seraphim has described, he's done some pretty horrendous shit.
It's Umbrella Corp all over again.
I love the combination of heinous and horrendous that you just did by accident because it works so well.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize it until after I did it.
I didn't either.
That
That's crazy.
was bravo.
Yeah, that's it.
It sounded like a
Horrendous.
real word, to be honest, actually. It was pretty cool. I'm going to remember that one. Horrendous.
Horrendous.
Bro.
So are you looking up Crane Genetics in like any data files on the hub, or are you going to go talk to Seraphim?
I'm going to look in the data files. If I don't find anything, I'm still probably going to talk to Seraphim about it as well.
Okay, as you look on the data files, you see that Crane Genetics they did a lot of, as in the name, a lot of work with like genetics, biology, things of that nature. You assume that a lot of, back when the hab was filled with soldiers, you did notice that a lot of them were designated as clones. You assume that Crane Genetics at least helped in that front with the human kingdom. But you also see that Crane Genetics had a lot of not so nice things that they did. It's kind of vague because the only thing you have are the few surviving records that people have shown detailing what they did, which were very, very rare and hard to find because Crane Genetics probably destroyed a lot of their documents, especially before the bombs dropped.
Oh, crap.
But they were a fairly large company, and they did have a lot of facilities just kind of all over the human kingdom. And you assume, as with most places on Urmos, they probably had bunkers underneath to store things and work in, as do most buildings here.
Okay.
But it is very vague, any information you find.
Oh boy. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Seraphim then.
Okay.
Seems...
As you are making your way to go talk to Seraphim, does Raziel go with Stone to go speak with Seraphim, or does he do something else?
Nah, I probably would have gone down to actually continue looking at and studying the technology his ship is made from. Maxon's ship was made from. If Maxon was down there, I'd probably help him out and see how things were going.
Okay. Then we will jump over to Maxon real fast, and as you ran in to check on your ship after everyone got Sorena situated, you saw that it was perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong. It was being fixed all according to plan.
Sato's around. I don't know if you kept him or not, just reminding you.
Someone has Sato. I don't know who does, but yeah, someone does have Sato.
He is in my hand. That's part of the reason I was going to the ship.
Okay. Then what is Maxon doing as Raziel walks into the hangar? It's been a day. Like, you've checked the ship over 5, 6, 7 times probably. There's nothing wrong.
Observational
Perfectly
instructions
fine.
of how to use Sato, by the way. On arm, close hand, open hand. And then think what you want.
Yes, but would I have known that beforehand?
You've watched
Your-
Sorena do it quite a
What's
bit.
your intelligence score? Let's be honest here. You probably figured it out pretty quick.
That's what I was going to
Just
say.
checking.
What were you saying, Robert?
I said, where else can I move to? Oh, that was a voice crack. Where else can I move to?
You can go wherever you want. I just,
I want to head down to the Because it is morning, and Maxon's kind of just gotten, like, when he doesn't really know where else to go, he kind of just likes to go to the mess hall to just hang there for a little bit, talking to people every once in a while, since not a whole lot that goes there. And remember, he does need to eat a lot more than normal, so.
I will say, as he goes in there, Alex seems to be sitting at one of the tables, and he is quietly just seems to be eating to himself. This is the first time you've seen him since Sorena was taken to the infirmary. You even pass Raziel as he's walking to the hangar, and you walk to the mess hall.
Hey, Max, and I'm headed down to have another look at your ship just in case. Make sure everything's all right.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna look over to Alex. So did they fix her or what?
I have no idea. It's probably going to take quite a bit of time. We'll see. He's just he's not even really eating. He's just kind of moving the food around on his plate. She wanted to steal your ship.
Well, what for is what I want.
Get off this planet to get back. Get back home. I have a feeling it's because it was the easiest to fix and get Lightspeed capable instead of just building a new one.
Right after I promised to help her. Isn't that a damn shame?
As you say that, he looks up and he says, "It wasn't her. It's that damn programming they put in her head." You just have to let that thing do its work. And pray that it works.
It better work.
He just kind of trails off and just kind of plays with his food some more, takes a few more bites, but he doesn't really say anything.
He angrily takes a bite of his granola bar.
I've never seen it, but I want to know what it looks like when someone angrily eats a granola bar.
I don't know what it looks like eating a granola bar angry, but I have had a morning where I was eating, I think, a honey bun, and someone said, I think this one guy in front of me said, "I've never seen somebody so depressed eating a honey bun."
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
It is funny.
I'm sorry, but that's funny, sir.
No, it's funny now thinking about it. It's like, god damn.
That's bad.
Alright. So, Raziel, as you enter the hangar, what do you do as you approach Maxon's ship, just specifically?
As I approach Maxon's ship, I pull Sato out of my bag of holding and strap it to my arm, flex my hand, and I go, "Sato, I don't want any information about Sorena. I'm trying to check out this ship, make sure everything's going right, and hell, see if I can help and take some of the burden off of Sorena. Is there any way I can help fix this ship even more?"
What state did you leave the ship in, Sorena?
Engine dropped. We've essentially got the car on the lift, and the engine's been dropped down out of it because that's the only way it comes out in this particular vehicle, if you will.
Did you fix the, I know we said it, I know we mentioned this as a joke a long time ago, but can we just make it an official thing where, like, the first time you tried to fix it, and I was just there telling you to be careful, and then the entire left wing just fell off? Remember that?
I do remember that.
I remember that.
Did you fix that?
I thought it was a hammer that made it fall off, though.
It was Hammer that made it fall off, but yeah, that was fixed.
Because she's been working with ships like for half her life and building them. That's part of her instruction was to build them. But as far as the drive goes, to answer any questions here, it has not been charged yet. But the things are in place to begin doing that.
So he hasn't fixed the solar collectors yet.
The drive has not been charged.
Okay. Because even if, like you said, there's not really a way to just outright leave orbit, but if you get it to work, if we get it in the air, you could probably just sit there for about an hour or two and just soak up a bit of sunlight, and then do like the whole rule of energy to do like energy conversion and stuff. So
Gotta get it up first. Yep. But that was dirty. Sorry. Whoops. But it stands.
I remember I told
Colton, play the bad to the bone.
I remember.
You've been cued.
There it is.
I remember I said that to somebody and then they ran away. That's a dark joke, but whatever.
Damn.
I've been teed.
Okay. So, Sato
Even if it's
just kind
basic
of
help, not even full on a lot of stuff, just like even if it's just basic
Sato
things
just-
I can help with.
Sato just lists like the basic things that need to be done. Like Jackson just lists it off. Just a couple like things need to just kind of be put back in, reconnected, charged.
Yep. So the Tesla coil is to, well, one part of helping it charge. A secondary piece is a glass globe of some kind, a hyperdense glass globe that has the ability to contain a very high amount of pressure, but also still fit in your hand, which he would have the equations written down on how to make that happen.
And knowing how dangerous this was, I probably would just sit there and study those blueprints and stuff to figure out how it works before I start tweaking with it.
A sphere which also can be placed into a thing, and when struck, it will dissolve and then release the storm inside of the engine.
So yeah, Sato's just kind of reading this off to you and kind of explaining it a little bit. And after he does, he just kind of pauses.
In Doctor Strange fashion as well, the warnings come after the instructions.
Good reference.
That's a good one.
The warning being, do this outside.
Warning, dude.
You know, we're releasing a thunderstorm coming out of a glass sphere that you can hold in your hand, smaller than about the size of a softball. So that's.
The fun part
As
is
I
that it does give you a warning, but the warnings are just like the most self-explanatory bullcrap that they could possibly give you.
As I said, I would have probably had Sato pull up all the blueprints and stuff and start learning it over the next couple of hours at the minimum before I actually started touching anything.
Yeah, we'll just say that you're just studying down with Sato. Yeah, you're just studying with Sato. He's even showing you videos of Sorena, like, doing the repairs from the helmet.
Physics 101 gobbledygook.
With a very smart individual that's had a lot of time.
And we will move. We'll move back over to the med bay, where it is just Seraphim at the moment. Hammer has left. Give me 1 sec. I need to make a quick roll. He wasn't able to find an access point immediately. He said he would try to do some more work and let you know what he came up with later in the day, Seraphim. And Duck Green is still in one of the regeneration pods. What is Seraphim doing currently as the sun begins, as the sun rises up and the day begins?
Probably doing some basic medical checks on Sorena, because this is probably the only opportunity he thinks currently that he'll have. So he's like checking her pulse, making sure she's fine, checking heart rate.
You'll find the heart rate is quite steady and almost never changes.
And it does match the medical records you have for Sorena from her checkups at Bunker A.
All right, so normal. It's not
Makes
normal.
sense.
It's almost exactly 64 beats per minute at all times.
The one time it's 65. Write that
strange.
down. Write that down.
You poked her and it spiked for a split second.
If it goes up or down, call someone in to read the rights. And bring a shovel.
I will say
Bring a
that
shovel.
after you do your basic rundown of Sorena, you see the fluid from Doc Green's pods begin to slowly descend as you assume she's about to exit. Her legs, I'll say that one has pretty much fully regenerated, and the other one that was more badly burned it probably just needs about one more night of being in the chamber, and she should be okay.
Seraphim will still help her out.
No, yeah,
Open the door.
there's she has what almost looks like a wooden prosthetic limb, and as she places her mangled foot into it, it wraps around it and just kind of replaces that limb, and she picks up a crutch and kind of uses that to walk around. Do you think that you could? As she leans against the crutch, she points to the wall that on the other side of her office, and she just says, "Could you go fetch me a book and some of my notes from in there? I'm going to sit in here and do some research. I don't want to be far from her." And she says as she moves a bit closer to Sorena and places a hand at the end of her cot.
No, I understand. I've been monitoring her basically all night. I've been waking up every hour doing some checks. Give me 1 second, I'll grab your notes. Seraphim goes to go look for something. Maybe grabs the instructions on that Alex gave her as well.
You see that it's written in strange sigils and runes, but it's translated underneath with Alex's handwriting, and it seems to just be a very confused retelling of what the machine does. There's a lot of question marks. It says helps relieve bad memories, rewrites faulty brain programming. It even says at the very bottom, it says de-bootlicker.
That's funny.
That's a good one.
Okay. De-bootlicker.
It's also very, very blunt.
Oh shit! That is the way to put it. De-bootlicker. Seraphim's like standing there, like, huh.
You could tell that you can tell that it's Alex that wrote this. It's a very crude, very someone who does not really understand technology trying to write down very advanced technology.
I fucking love that name.
Yes,
De-bootlicker.
De-bootlicker.
Fucking golden.
It's amazing.
And Seraphim's just pondering, just. I wonder if I. Nah, I don't think it'd work. And he grabs some notes and heads back in there.
Hey,
The more I think about it, the funnier it is.
Sticker.
As you get about halfway down the hall, roll perception for me, Seraphim.
Oh, cool.
He's good at that.
Glow in the dark. Wow, that's a 6, so 16.
You hear crashing, thudding, Doc Green cursing, and then a hiss.
Fucking Seraphim drops whatever and runs that in here. Bashes down a door if he needs to.
Call for help, possibly?
Give me 1 second. I need to look at a spell cantrip, but you come into the door at least. Let me. Okay. So Oh yeah, that fucking fails. Ooh, that's really bad. That would be.
For the record, guys, I don't know what's happening, so whatever he's doing, I'm also nervous.
I'm also
Encounter.
You kick the door, or you don't kick the door, and as you enter the hab, you see the blood beast standing over Sorena.
Oh, you gotta be
As-
kidding me.
Not Green is leaning against her crutch, holding out a small wooden device, and
Point of order.
she
When you're
just.
done.
Yeah, what's up?
Does any of this count as a long rest, or do I just leave it?
For you?
Mm-hmm. Because I am at 17 HP, and I am absolutely
yeah.
willing to leave it there. This
your
is
body,
very intriguing.
Your body is definitely resting right now. So you could definitely take a long rest now if you wanted to.
Alrighty.
And
Yeah,
then,
it's been a night. We're into the next day. You've rested.
roll
Technically.
this. That's
Long rest button, super handy.
then I need to add another.
Just tell me when I need to start hitting that minus button.
Oh no, you're fine. You see a gout of poison shoot out from the device that Doc Green has attached to her arm, and it hits the blood beast, and it goes from being red to a almost rancid brown color
Oh, sick.
as it just falls to the floor and just kind of fizzles out.
Doc Green did have a plan that
Poo
we
spray.
interrupted by you killing it first.
Yes, as you see, Seraphim, as you kind of know medicine, she hit it with a really powerful poison, and it was very susceptible to poisons and toxins, and it just kind of... She rolled really well and did double damage, and just kind of fizzled out the weakened thing on the floor.
Mm.
Like, it's just a brown puddle of rancid blood now, as she looks at the device, looks at the beast. Can always rely on a good toxin. And then she just kind of slowly makes her way over to you.
Oh shit! What the it's a hand on the fucking laser MR. I thought I was gonna have to put another fucking hole in it. What the? Okay. What happened?
Seems our friend crawled back through the vents before it could get cleaned up. It wanted to attack our patient. I showed it why that is a bad idea. And she grabs her notes and lays down on the cot here and begins to do some research notes after she moves it up to give her a better reclined position to do notes.
Single, taken, just asking for a friend. I watched her just, turn to Seraphim and I'm just kind of like, hello.
Damn.
You rang.
Seraphim just goes over to a bed and just also starts making his own notes. Can't do nothing about that now.
Atomize the shit on the floor.
Giving the very essence of
looking
that
at the
meme.
stain.
Oh no! Anyways,
it's the nonchalantness is actually it does throw Seraphim off. He's just like, where's the chaos? Where's the excitement?
You suddenly feel a lot better that if you do get interred in here for long term, you know you will be safe. You also understand why a majority of her body was burned by the dwarves. She probably went down with a pretty heavy fight.
She was probably the one who blew up the dwarves.
she went down with several puddles around here made of just interesting materials, but we don't really know where they came from. Or do we?
That used to be metal.
Why does it look like mud?
It's goo.
That is a stain, my good sir.
Is there anything else that anyone would like to do before we transition back to Sorena?
Wasn't Stone gonna go ask Seraphim something?
Yes, that was what I was going to do, actually.
Then after, Stone, you hear down the hall, you see Seraphim walking with some notes. You hear the same commotion in there, and then you see Seraphim just rush in.
Oh boy.
As you, how do you move quickly to get down to the hall, or to get down to the infirmary?
I'd probably do, and if there's something going on, then I'd probably run.
As you run up and you get to the door, you're probably right behind Seraphim as the beast fizzles out onto the floor in a dot green. Says her spiel and then lays down on the cot to do her research notes, and Seraphim takes up his position on the cot.
I'm sorry, did I miss something?
Stone. Seraphim looks back at the puddle, looks back at Stone. Not really.
I was about to say, Dot Green doesn't
Apparently
answer
not.
to either of you.
Well, since I'm here, I actually was going to ask you a question.
Oh? I'm not asked questions that often.
Well, there
you want?
was a bio-research company with a certain name before the war.
Yeah.
Seraphim, your blood's
studying
already gone
something.
cold. You know what he's talking about.
They
You
were
at least know the
studying
company he's
something of
talking about.
interest. They were studying something of interest to me.
And what would that be?
A metal, a very strong metal that was non-toxic to the body. Typically used for replacements of bones or prosthetics.
Non-toxic metals.
It doesn't ring a bell anywhere you look in your mind, Seraphim, so you assume that it was probably done by a different research group that was just employed by the company.
More than likely, it was an offset group, not actually Crane Genetics. If it didn't deal with the body as a whole, they weren't interested.
Do you know of any Crane Genetics buildings, the locations of any of them? This might require a nice expedition.
You would know the locations, but you would know that the buildings are long gone, and it would probably just be whatever's like down below in the lower research facilities.
Seraphim wouldn't know where those facilities are.
At least vaguely. The ones that Crane at least frequented, you would know the location of. And the one that you were from specifically, you would know where that is.
The buildings themselves are gone, reduced to atoms. They were actually quite not close, but they were in the blast zone. Things are level. But every building related to Crane Genetics did have underground facilities. And those things could withstand any nuke you threw at it. Unfortunately.
Is there any possibly nearby? We could put together an expedition. I'm interested to see what they were studying.
We will transition over to the map, and I will say that there could possibly be the remains of a bunker somewhere on this coast. Because you know that there was a facility somewhere where this used to be on the map, So you assume that the facility is at least somewhat intact somewhere in this area. Near the land bridge that you guys have to cross.
There's one near the land bridge. It's only a little out of the way. If you truly need to go look at these places.
Perhaps you'll find out something about yourself in one of these bunkers.
The only thing I want to know about myself is when he's 6 feet under.
Rather blunt, but I like your style.
Alright. As you all finish up your conversation, and does anybody want to go mention that to Hammer? Because we can use that as like a transition point to move over to Sorena.
I'll probably have went and asked Hammer after said conversation.
Alright, cool. Then we will transition back over to Sorena. You have been setting with this being for quite a while. Zoom in on your character. Don't really have a set place to put it. And you have just kind of been conversing with it. From what you gather, it doesn't have a name. You assume that this isn't really an actual sentient being per se. You assume that this is some form of advanced AI simulating a living being. But it is sentient, and it does like speak to you, and you do like it does understand what you're saying. But it just seems to be asking you just kind of generic questions about yourself. Asking you about your planet, about your people, your culture. Tell me about your family.
Well, I have my mother, but I haven't seen her since I left. So,
Mother.
18 years? And my brother, and I haven't seen him in almost as long. That one's about 14 years. And my father is dead. He was killed
Death is such
the last time I saw my
tragic.
brother.
It just, as you say that, it just, it looks to you. You must keep your family close. Though, I know that your people do not view death as such a tragic thing when it is in view of a cause, am I correct?
Death is respected. Yes. We try not to die, but the dead are honored.
You mentioned your mother. And as it says this, the screen kind of pulls up a image of your mother. Not as how she would look, but how a young Sorena would have seen her. You assume that this being is showing you images of her through your own eyes, through your memories. No augments, No surgeries. Just a young girl.
Not realizing that this is like an organic memory. I haven't had this dream in a while.
This is not a dream, my friend. I am showing you things you have already seen.
I saw this.
What do you... You did? And as you begin to look at it, you remember the day. You're 12 years old. Your instructor just scolded you. You felt frustrated. You didn't feel capable. She had just pulled you from the squad house to talk. You were just walking through your small village. It's hazy, but the more you look at it, you almost begin to hear it. She pulled you from your squad. When was that?
I was frustrated because the instructor had scolded me on my failures. Our hand-to-hand instructor. At the end of our training, I hadn't been doing quite as well, and both I and he found frustrations in that.
Interesting. It says as it moves, it moves back and begins typing for a moment, and you hear just outside metal creaking. Does your synthetic arm creak or make any noises?
I imagine occasionally it makes like servo noise.
You're hearing quite a bit of servo noise. But it's in like almost controlled bursts. Like whatever is moving seems to be moving and stopping. And then moving again and then stopping. You can't really tell from where, but
I'll walk to the door and kind of lean out a little bit very carefully and look around.
Do you attempt to stay attached to the amorphous being?
I attempt to, yeah.
As you move slowly, you see that it does stretch and go with you as you move towards the door. And a shot rings over your shoulder and blasts through the screen, but since it's a holographic projection, it just hits the wall behind it, leaving no visible damage. But you see that shot came from probably 10 feet away somewhere.
I will drop and like roll to the side of the door and just put my back against the wall.
We are not finished yet. I still need your help. As it begins to pull you by your hand back over closer to where it is.
There's something out there. It's trying to shoot me.
You will be okay. We need to figure this out. As it pulls you up close to about where you were before, it almost like stands you back up. And as it does, it begins to essentially what you see, it plays back a memory through your eyes.
Interesting.
Defeat has made you mute, Ren. How would you describe your mother?
I look a lot like her.
Okay.
But minus the scars. And rather than having like part of her hair buzzed, it's kept mostly short in a Bo-Katan sort of style, just kind of kept really close up, just above the chin. Still dark. But instead of red eyes, they're like a lavender color.
You see her walking next to you, and then she looks over and she says in a very soft voice, "Do you know why you fail? Maybe it's that you're a weak warrior. Perhaps." No. Because you push yourself. The gaze shifts to the ground. Your memory begins to feel so much more clear. You're realizing now just how clear your head is in this moment. There's no directives, no orders. You feel like you can just think. You push yourself so much, more than anyone else. And then he pauses it for a moment. And then the being looks over to you. Why do you push yourself?
Because I like a challenge. I like having distant goals that seem difficult and impossible, and then making them possible.
Don't give me excuses. I know why you push yourself. And you see a limb point out at the screen as it starts it again. And you hear a young voice as the view whips up to your mother's face. But what about Tridic? He's perfect at everything. And you remember yourself saying those very words. What did your brother do so differently? And then begin to hear huffing as the view begins to shake. You almost feel the breath of aggravation in your chest as the camera begins to sway. I don't know. And he stops it again. Is he why?
One more time, I didn't actually hear what you said.
It just looks to you as it mentions after it finishes playing the part talking about Tridic.
Mm-hmm.
And it just says, is he the reason why you push yourself so hard?
sometimes him getting better motivates me a little bit. And I think the other part is, I don't know.
Let's move a little further, he says as the being turns and does a few inputs in it. It moves to a lake. And you remember it was a short time after you had that conversation about Tritic that your mother walked you down to the lake, a place you hadn't been in a long time. And you could see the lake before you, still as glass, the sky reflecting down on it. Stars shining, the cluster of the galaxy beyond. Do people live near all of those? Not all, but a lot of them. Many systems in our galaxy are habitable. More than most, but some are vacant. It's beautiful, Mama. And I have something for you. And you sit up on an elbow and look over to her. This is something very special. Your father left behind for you before your grandfather died, and the Terragasi took him in his stead. She takes her pack from her back, and you hear a slight jingling as she pulls whatever it is out. And you see a very familiar metal whip. And as it comes into view on the screen, you feel it like you're there. How mesmerized you were. The feeling of it in your hand for the first time. The excitement in your chest. And then for a split second, you see that the being has let go of your hand and the whip is there. And not only that, but almost for a moment, your left arm is there too, holding the whip. Not the metal arm, not a metal arm, but an actual arm.
Just stare at it.
And as soon as you focus on it and realize what it is, the left arm and the whip just vanish. And the being has enveloped your hand again. I assume we want to keep this memory then.
Yes.
Good. That is a good sign you're doing well. As you begin to hear the clinking of the servos again.
I will.
And as it begins to sound up again, you feel the being let go of your hand.
I'll turn and look at the doorway, but I won't move to it.
As you turn and look at the doorway, you see yourself. Your armor, to be more specific. Metal arm, helmet, no breathing, no movement, just still, staring, rifle in hand.
I'll
like a
look at
statue almost.
I'll look at the being. Is that me?
It could be.
But the armor's all wrong.
As you look at it, you realize it looks very dark. It's very mechanical. It looks like underneath that there's nothing but a machine. The movements are cold, calculated, inorganic, precise, almost programmed. As it just stares, doesn't say anything.
I think I remember something. I think I remember when that was put in. Not the exact moment, but I remember it happening. I remember when that was put inside my head.
As you say that, you feel that same warm, buzzing feeling just kind of envelop part of your back. As if you assume the being is now just kind of like touching your shoulder, essentially, and just kind of spreading out. Do you think you could show me?
I only remember my ceremony.
Let us find that moment.
That's all I remember.
Give me a moment to locate that. And you feel the limb retract. And did you turn to face the being at all, or were you just speaking to it like through your mind? You've realized now you don't have to actually talk to it. It seems to be speaking to you telepathically, as long as it has a limb touching you.
I've been relying on its form of communication once I realized it was in my head, pretty much right away.
Okay, cool. As you begin talking to the being, and it begins looking through what you now assume to be your mind itself, the figure standing in the doorway just seems to march away mechanically.
The armor's all wrong. When did I start wearing that?
What makes it wrong, child?
It's not my armor. Was it given to me? They must have given it to me.
I believe I have found it.
The memory?
A piece of it, at least. And the image on the screen shows shows you you remember it now. Graduation. Waiting with your squad mates. The line formed. Where you had to report to go get which surgeries. The spot where your left arm used to be almost begins to sting as you begin to recollect it. You remember wishing that your brother were there. Your mother couldn't be there for the graduation. And you knew that your father was... You knew that your father was still in the hands of the Terragasi, as he had always been for generations. You almost wish that you could be graduating in a different time. You knew that even the one person that you knew that could maybe... Tridic, he had been called away. And you knew he couldn't leave wherever he was. And that's when you hear the chants. Thank you, I was about to say a storm was starting.
That's some touchy volume on that one. I'm trying to adjust it, but it's like...
You saw it. You see as they begin handing out the chits, showing rank and station, and one by one people begin to leave the stage. One of your squad mates is approached and given one. They're led away. And that's when the anxiety sets in. The clanking outside gets louder. That feeling that you may not have passed begins to set in. Maybe there was an inquiry. Maybe you broke the rules. No, your squad had stood against everything. You'd done great. Except for your arm. You remember that beast was faster than you thought. You didn't think it would take one claw swipe to take your arm. Then the stinging begins again, the aching. All of your squad was almost gone. And then you were the only one left there. No assignment. Nothing. Most of the amphitheater was empty by this point. There were instructors and the priests and priestesses. They look to the side of the stage and acknowledge something, though. Then they pick up their things and leave. That's when you see it. Tall figure, metal arm, dark armor, ectane diamonds. And as he approaches, the warrior removes their helmet. It's Tridic. Congratulations. He says as a warm smile goes across his face. And the being seems to pause it on that memory. That frame of you seeing Tridic smile.
And she's also smiling.
Could you tell me about him for a moment?
Well, then he was just working his way through the ranks. But my mother's position made it easier for him to rise up. And also being the son of one of what would be a clan leader if we weren't under Terragasi control. So his ascension through the ranks was pretty much written. He's a general now. Last time I checked. I still haven't seen him.
He was the one that told you, wasn't he?
He did tell me,
They sent him.
but he didn't know.
How could he? That's why they sent him, probably.
He still doesn't know.
How does that make you feel? Was he not also a soldier?
Yesterday I would have said it made me angry. Today, the emotion would be more appropriate after I tell him. I would just want to tell him.
Give me your perception roll.
Okay. That in the usual style, a 9.
You find yourself just distracted staring at the image of your brother smiling. And it's that moment you take a second to reminisce that you feel two metallic hands grip around your neck and pick you up from behind and begin to slowly choke you. And that's when foggy but painful memories begin. The surgeries, the conditioning, programming. With every pound that this shadow of you exerts, presses down on your throat, the anxiety just grows, the pain grows, the memories, everything. It's like it just floods back.
It took a long time. And I'll, not in a swift motion, but more in a sense to just gently overpower. I'll just grab one of the hands and just pull it off. If I can.
It takes some resistance, but you begin to pull it away slightly. And you feel the being behind you, pseudopod, reach out and touch your back, and then you just see the memories of your mother, memories of Tridic, memories of training. And then you just hear, "Don't be their puppet. Don't be their servant. Don't let them use you as a tool. You do not have to be what they've made you."
Tool. That's what I was. That's what they wanted me to be. Why didn't Timur take it out? This is my head. I don't think you would know that. Well,
I will say after you said that, after you said like tool out loud, the grip loosens that it has on your neck. It's essentially just grabbing you and holding you up by the shirt now. By one hand, as you were able to successfully move the hand away after saying that.
if I'd have known, I would have never been a tool.
It sits you back down on the ground.
I wanted to be better. Stronger, not because they were weak, not because the others were anything like that. No, because I could take it. I could do it. No, we're not a tool. I am not a tool.
As you say that, you look down and you see not only has the whip returned to your hand, but your left arm has reappeared as well. No scars, no marks. Like it's always been there.
I'll look at the arm again. This I'm all right with being gone. I lost this on my own. My mind, however, didn't really choose that, did I?
And as you say that, you see the organic parts around your left arm just rot and like disintegrate essentially and fade away, revealing your metal arm. It's been there the whole time.
In this particular instance, the metal it's exactly the same, but the metal is black on every part. I'll just look at it again. It's better. Now what to do with the parts that don't belong? Where do we go from here, being?
I say that you are very apt at dispatching unwanted things. And you see just a limb kind of motion to the being in front of you that is now just... It looks like it's getting ready. It's like taking a stance to try and attack you, but it isn't moving. I have shown you what needs to be removed. Only you can truly overcome it and remove it.
There's nothing about this, about you, machine, that's ever been a part of me, really. Might as well be just a faceless, feelingless machine. And, from there, I will, not really certain what she should do, I will very quickly do a sort of spinning, like, head duck under the right arm. And as I go under it, kind of grab the wrist and bring it over my shoulder, and then just kind of like in a very strange shoulder toss, only capable by someone with strength. It wouldn't make sense for someone to do this normally, because it would just be too heavy, but throw this machine out the door of the tower. But as I flip it over my shoulder, I turn and just kick it straight in the chest to like send it further.
As you kick it, it just disintegrates. It like just vanishes to ash, just flutters out the door. How do you feel now?
Free. I feel free.
Then I have done my duty. Is there anything else you would like me to show you before I return you back to the realm of the awake, I should say?
Show me the last time I saw Tridic. I've been trying to remember and I can't. I think that had something to do with it. Now that it's gone, I want to see
Takes it
it.
a moment, but it eventually does pull up a memory. Large sun lamp. Scald Prime. You're sitting with your helmet off. Ships flying overhead. Engines vibrating the air. Tridic sitting next to you. I knew you'd meet Timur, you know. You deserve the position. But I knew they would have you be around him at some point. They didn't do anything bad to you, did they? Nothing too bad. You lie and smile as you look away. He could always tell when you were lying, though. We won, though. You did it. We fought the big fight there. You have fought the big fight inside the Mesta. Our people now live free because of you. And at that point, for the first time in 4 years, you allowed yourself to feel triumph. You were able to revel. You smile. You look at Tridic. And with an arm over his shoulder, all you say is, "We did it." And then the memory stops. It's at least there.
I think I'm ready. For several things. But
That's
first,
good to hear.
we deal with Ermos.
They do seem to need your help.
Then we'll see about everything else. And this time I'll make sure my bonds are cut. We're good.
Farewell, Sorena of Skaldo.
Farewell, machine.
And you, within a moment, you begin to open your eyes. And as you do, I'm going to jump to everybody and see what they are doing around the time the
it has
day
been a moment.
ends. Yeah. So what has everybody been up to for a majority of the day? We'll say that it's probably around like 5 p.m. What has everybody been doing?
I've probably been hard focused on Sato, still trying to learn.
I was about to say with learning with Sato today, I'd
Because
say
there's
you
a
probably
lot
have
of stuff to try and absorb.
I'd say that you probably need one more day before you feel confident working on the ship, but you are able to understand it. Funnily enough, Sato's a pretty good teacher.
Right.
But yeah, you'd probably feel pretty confident starting sometime tomorrow after you do a bit more reading. But what about everybody else? Is anybody else doing anything specific?
More health checkups, poking and
Stone
prodding.
is probably actually going to check on Doc Green because he hasn't really seen her.
Okay.
Since some of the attacks.
What is Maxon doing then? Because obviously there's going to be some commotion in the infirmary here in a moment, so I'll save that for everybody that's going to be in there.
What? No.
No.
That was really good. I like that a lot. What was I gonna say? But I wanted
That's
to
what
say
happens when you
something,
let-
but I just wanted to eat my popcorn in peace. So
That's what happens when you let two DMs do a moment. It's way too long
No,
and
yeah.
way too like deep.
That was
we got it. The Junior Russo brothers or something like that.
I'll take it.
Hell yeah.
What was I gonna say? Maxon's probably just going to be. I'm gonna go ahead and You said there. Okay, if I go outside to kind of just sit off the edge a little bit, are they gonna be able to hear it when it goes off?
Like, are you talking about like setting up here at the observation deck?
Yeah.
You probably won't hear the initial commotion, but I'm sure they will announce it or something akin to that. Someone will come get you. So if you want to like sit up there and have a moment, go for it. But do whatever you think Maxon would be doing throughout the day.
Or let's see, where else can I go?
I am gonna make you guys move, but here in a second.
Okay, I'll just be upstairs.
Okay. Yeah, if you'll just place them up here then. Have you been doing anything specific? Because Rigel is still hovering over the hab.
I'm
Are
just
you just
going
up there?
I guess I'm just gonna head over and just kind of like, I'm not next to him, but from where I'm standing, I can kind of just see him from here. So.
Okay. You just see he's just kind of silently watching, providing light and kind of keeping the storm off the hab directly. He doesn't say anything, just floats.
He doesn't say anything because he doesn't really feel like he would know what to say or if he'd even get a response back. So he just, I guess he just continues to stare at him and just bask in awe as something like this is just there because he has, considering that I rolled really high in I got like a really high Arcana check. He doesn't know what it is, but he understands perfectly that this is not something you want to mess with. So, I can't remember. I got a nat 20, right? Does anyone remember?
Yeah, You got
Okay,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it was either a nat 20 or a dirty 20. You got a really high roll, but yeah. So as you're sitting there just observing it, kind of just basking in its presence, you notice a few of the eyes kind of just look towards you. Not in a menacing way, just noticing that you're there. So where are you from?
Oh, he takes like a little step back in surprise. And then he hold up. I'm from a little place called Earth. It's very far from here.
Pains me to see. Lost people, lost children.
In a way, I kind of am like a child just trying to find his way home with no one to help him. Well, he means that like metaphorically, you know.
I understand your frustrations. You should speak to Seraphim about when I found him. How lost he was.
I would
all
definitely
the-
keep that in mind. He says,
All the eyes kind of look up to the sky. You'll find that the universe has a way of putting you where you need to be. You just have to endure the journey.
he just tells him in like a joking way, "Thanks for clearing the sun out. I really want to stay stuck in there all day."
It is a joy of... It brings me great joy to light your path.
He just he takes one more look at him. He just says, I'm gonna go ahead and head downstairs. And it was nice to talk to you."
If you would like to speak again, I am here. And it just kind of floats up a bit higher over like the actual pinnacle of the observation deck. As you are you walking direct? Are you going to the med bay, or are you going somewhere else, just downstairs?
I was gonna go to the med bay.
Okay. As
you
you're
guys
on your
noticed
way
that,
there,
I was just gonna say, if you guys noticed that he was acting a little different, it's just that cautiousness. You know, examine the situation, think about it before doing it. You know.
hell yeah.
Oh, you slipping too? I know a great way to deal with people like you.
Alex, get him!
Alex! Sick him, Alex.
That was really neat how you made that visor eye thing make a gun noise. How'd you do that?
Skill. God,
Wait,
more
did
fun
you?
than shooting it.
He's losing it. Trust me, you guys have no idea.
Yeah, we will say you get to the floor of the med bay, and as you're walking out, Hammer comes out of this door and kind of greets you, and he's just evening.
What did he say?
He's just evening.
Oh, hey, Hammer.
You on your way to the med bay?
That's the plan. He says as he's just walking next to him.
As you all are walking together, we will make take a quick cut as you see Stone entering the room just a few paces ahead of you. And we will say, what is Seraphim doing right now? We'll say that you just loaded Dot Green into the chamber. It is just filled up.
Seraphim's said keeping a medical eye on Sorena, but now he's literally doing that thing where he's like holding open her eye at this moment, just like flashlight in, looking. Make sure everything's normal.
You wouldn't have been able to do that at first because of the helmet clamping on, but
oh yeah, I forgot.
We'll say that as you were checking, we'll say you were like checking her pulse on her neck, and as you were doing that, you know, kind of redundantly, you know what her pulse is going to be.
Yep, 64. I'm not surprised.
You hear a pop and metallic like shuddering as the device kind of sinks back into itself and kind of lightly elevates itself off Serena's eyes. She doesn't stir yet, but the device is able to be removed now.
Yeah, Seraphim will grab it off of her face. He's kind of just watching intently.
Face hugger.
How does Serena wake up?
He said he.
Just for creative fun. And some of the stuff that she does remember, like just the cloud of dozing as and like grogginess as like consciousness takes you. It does kind of take her back to that last memory, just hearing it and like the stuff that happened after some of the battles that they fought for the rest of the honestly 10 years. And it headphone warning. That's just and then her eyes open.
You see Seraphim looking down at you, holding the device that Alex gave you in his hand. And it's quiet. It's very quiet.
Sorena? You good?
Duh. I kind of blink painfully.
Seraphim steps back. You're not gonna grab the nearest object and try to kill me with it, are you? Your guns aren't here. Your guns are somewhere, but they're not here.
I just look at you. Stole? What? Why would I hurt you?
I don't know, breathing, standing near you. Your helmet's off. It's over there. That's number one. That you would kill me for that one.
Why would I kill you for taking off my helmet? Oh, right. That was different, wasn't it? Yeah. It's a little hazy at the moment. I didn't kill anyone, did I? Recently.
Nobody didn't kill an innocent, I don't think. We've known each other for a little bit, but we fought sandworms.
As you're talking, a few people shuffle in. We will say that Maxon, Hammer, and Stone have kind of made their way in to hearing some of the commotion, and I will say that Alex is kind of down the hall. And anybody else that may have been around. Upon seeing that Sorena's up and talking to Seraphim, Hammer would have announced across the hab that Sorena was awake and non-violent.
And I would have immediately started heading up that way with Sato on my arm. Because I wouldn't even have thought about it. I would just took off, even with Sato still there.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just leave it to everybody who is in the room currently. So it's Maxon, Stone, Hammer, Seraphim, and Sorena.
If you're feeling it, I did prepare just in case. I have a water and some MRE crackers.
She smiles and laughs to your utter dismay.
You can fucking Seraphim's eyes widen. Same expression, just the eyes get bigger.
We're gonna die, aren't we?
We're gonna die.
It's the apocalypse. It's happening.
Yeah, in his
It's
head.
happening
Too
now.
late.
In his head.
too
We're
late.
Fucked.
It's here.
We're fucked. Oh fuck.
We're all gonna die.
As you're having this like thought in your head, Seraphim, Hammer walks up and grabs the device from your hand and goes, "What the hell is this thing?"
I don't know, but I'm very curious about it now myself.
Sorena, direct memories of what went on in your head that moment with the entity, the
Mhm.
tower. You don't remember it. You remember the memories. They're very fresh on your mind, but
And I remember ridding myself of something, but like the programming at minimum, but not the actual what happened to do that. I know that it's like I'm like manually. What's the word? I'm consciously aware that I got rid of it, but I don't really know. Something happened, but I don't know what it is. Is it like that?
Yeah, it's exactly how Alex described it. You assume they put this over your eyes, turned it on, and
I think
it's
she would
a hell of
assume
a lot easier to think.
it's seeing the device. I think like what she would kind of put together is like it did something. It's gone now, and she'll just kind of like lay there and stare at the ceiling with like a smile a little bit and just think to that first memory and say the same thing. I haven't had that dream in a long time. But it's not a dream. That was pleasant.
And we'll say that. We'll say that Raziel and Alex have also moved in, and upon seeing that you were up, and that Alex would just he wouldn't say anything, but he would just kind of smile a little bit as he walked up a little bit and made room for everybody.
I just kind of like look around everybody and как дела? What's up, everyone? Quite the spectacle. A woman strapped to a table. Yeah?
Let's undo those. Totally slipped the old noggin. Seraphim will help undo
Oh,
the
yeah.
strap.
You see a look
50
cross
feet.
my face as I'm like,
All 50 feet of the rope.
Rosie's trying not to chuckle and laugh at that.
Actually, about halfway through you untying the rope and hitting the chain that you also affixed to keep Sorena down, Alex just walks up and just kind of burns through it with his eye beams.
Halfway through, and then you're gonna help me. Thank you. No, thank you. He just drops it.
I'll sit up and just kind of stretch my wrists a bit. Just kind of kick off the table and head for that MRE. And begin very deftly, one arm, like single arm, very deftly begin to open it. Look like I have no problems with it, like I've done this a million times. And just begin continuing the spectacle and just eat and just kind of like look at everybody.
Hammer actually hands you your prosthetic arm.
Right, yeah. I'll put it on and like click it into place. And then I'll go, oh, Demo. Is there a hammer present? Not you, the tool. One of you might like this a lot.
Hammer just reaches down on his tool belt and just hands you one off of the back of his hip.
I'll just hold it up and say, would anyone like to do it? It's going to be quite funny.
Sure.
I'll hand it to you, and I'll flip my hair to the other side, and I'll point to where you see like a square-shaped scar on the side of my head, near the motor center for the left side, and I'll say, right there, really hard. Don't hold back.
Really hard?
Really hard. You won't hurt me, I promise.
Okay.
Yeah, I knock her upside the head, and she kind of goes, better, thank you. Much better. Spasiba.
Fucking Seraphim hands the hammer back to Hammer. It's just like, eyes still wide.
What did I just do that for?
Yeah,
what
sometimes when something jars it hard enough, you have to jar it hard, and it sits right in there.
He said, "Don't hold back. Don't hold back." Okay.
He said, "Fucking."
Just rolls for strength.
Don't hold back, huh?
I was about to say, as the DM asking, how long has Seraphim been waiting to do that?
You know, I like to think that that's what like everybody in here that had no idea what was going on with Sorena just probably heard that throughout the hall. Just as Sorena's just getting violently slammed into the wall.
It would have sounded like. It would have mimicked the sound of like a bat hitting a baseball, like the metal bat.
One guy's having a conversation with his friend about like his family or something, and like how he just wants to get off shift, and he comes around the corner, sees that, and then just turns around and just walks away.
Yeah, fucking Seraphim did. Normal personality did not want to hit her at all, but number one kicked in, just say less. Kicked in for a split second.
Technically, you haven't rolled for your medicine.
Give it 2
true.
seconds to twist the hammer around, go for the metal and the nail grip in.
Well,
Say less.
as everything begins to die down, we'll just kind of transition into the night. What does everybody do as the day ends?
What is with this song? Get out of here. Too crazy. I will finish my food and look for rest, as that's probably a good idea, considering whatever happened in my head.
Physically you're not tired, but mentally you are drained. You cannot think. Like, you are
Definitely
Got
feeling the
nothing.
flows.
mentally.
I will actually, if the I don't know what I was saying. I will definitely grab a cot of some kind and go sleep in the top deck and look out the window.
Okay.
In the observation deck.
I'll say that as you leave, I assume Raziel will give you Sato and the rest of your equipment.
Yes.
Okay. And
It
Hammer
was
also
fun learning
gives you.
from Sato. I may be able to help you with the ship when you're done, ready to repair it again.
Sounds good. I have a few ideas. I need to make a glass globe with highly pressurized with a little bit of moisture. And then the Tesla tower needs to work. We need to arc it into the globe inside of the drive, and then we'll spark it up.
Outside.
And then that will be his ship in functioning working order. As for the rest of this stuff, it's going to be a bit more difficult.
As you're saying that, Hammer, he actually kicks a random part of the wall here in the infirmary, and it slides out, and there seem to be a few bottles of alcohol, and he pulls one out and hands it to you, Sorena. And he says, "Save the science for tomorrow. You go rest."
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. I'm going to go stare at the stars and think of old times. And try not to remember the Akoribes. Ugh. That's the thing that cut my arm off. It's an ugly, disgusting creature.
Drink enough of that, and you ain't gonna remember shit.
I won't even be able to say the word, hopefully.
Oh,
As Sorena,
either, so.
and as Sorena leaves to go rest, what does everybody else do?
That is a good question.
That it is.
Stone, have you spoken to Hammer about possibly a detour to the bunker that Seraphim spoke about?
I did say I was on my way to do that before, but there was a lot of lore dump right after that, so I think kind of got lost in the sauce.
So yeah, we will say towards the end of the night then that you went and spoke to Hammer, and he was able to. It's basically going to be the same as Green Cove, just the caravan will continue to move. You guys will just have to jump off, go to the location, and then rendezvous. You have a rough plan now, but he said later on, once we get closer, we can plan it out more. Honestly, I'd prefer to be closer, not leave too much up to chance. We've seen what happens when we try to plan ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Stone. Seraphim, I guess you're kind of off duty now.
Back to the office. More notes. More science. More. He probably fell asleep on he sat down, got a pencil and paper, and then just face first on the desk. He's gonna wait all
To the pencil pushing.
The eraser, the back part of the pencil, the eraser is just like it's in his face. He fell on the pencil.
Oh God.
The eraser on his forehead is holding him up.
Yep,
Oh.
it's like holding up his face.
With the point on the table.
Yep. The points are broken from the weight, but it's
Yep.
just like.
It's a really good pencil, though. The tip's just screwed.
Yep.
Raziel and Maxon, what do you guys do as we transition into the next day? Well, we move the caravan on the big map and then transition into the next day.
Well... I probably would have tried to start fashioning the claws I got from the tree monsters into like a necklace of some sort, maybe.
I don't know if I'd say necklace. You could probably fashion them into like a nice like wall ornament, because they're pretty big claws.
Oh, then yeah, I'd probably make something big enough to hang up then.
Yeah, like a
Out of one
hunting
of
trophy of some kind. If you wanted to.
Personally, what I'd do is I'd like fashion it into like a bayonet for the end of my gun. I think that'd be good.
Well, if you want one and you've got a claw, I can try and help you with that. I'm not supposed to get up too close. And I've got something else for melee.
Well, I just thought that would be cool, but unfortunately,
It is cool.
Stone is not really a guns type of guy.
Yes, but would I
But
be
it
able
would
to
still be
fashion one
nice.
into a possible big-ass club weapon for you?
I
Potentially.
don't know if I'd say a club, but I'd say maybe like a big ass machete or something like that. Since it's
That'd
curved.
That'd be neat.
Oh, hell yeah.
That would actually be cool.
We just pull out my
Whoever would
claw
like-
machete. You're what?
Hey,
Whoever
at least
would
it's
like
not
to
a toenail
move-
scimitar.
Oh no.
I'm calling this one the weapon of ass destruction. You're ready, motherfucker.
Whoever would like to move the Harvest 2 unit, go ahead on the big map, and then we will transition into the next day.
Distance?
Keep moving it half a square, same as usual. Okay, and then if someone could roll a if someone could roll a d12 for me for weather, and then a d100 for encounters.
I refuse to roll.
I'll do the weather this time.
I'll do the weather. D8.
Okay, then I'll do the encounter.
D12 for the weather this time. We're doing shifting weather.
I like how they just didn't hear you say you were gonna roll for weather.
It
It
happens.
happens.
What? Oh, I didn't hear that.
I know.
I know. I'm sorry. I was reading.
We know.
Hey, guess
that
what?
was
I just got
perfect.
for my weather roll, or my encounter roll.
I don't like the
I
sound
got
of
a
that.
double 0 and a 1.
Ew.
That'd be a 1.
And
So it's a
that's
1.
that's when the apocalypse dragon, the size of a moon, happens, right?
That's the third fucking time I've rolled under 10.
You just triggered the bad ending.
You
would be a
4 for
great
weather, by the
Triggered
way.
the trap card, bitch.
You would be a great Call of Cthulhu player.
You would be absolutely fine most of the time.
It has
Most of
stopped
the time.
raining outside, but it is insanely humid outside.
Yucky.
It's
Fucking yuck.
I would even say that it's probably more humid than your time in the jungle.
Just
We
another
feel
day
that,
in
don't we,
Texas.
fellas?
I don't
Are we talking like
And
100 degrees?
It's been
Oh,
humid
yeah,
as hell
easy.
here.
Okay, so just another day in Texas. Okay.
All right, and who wants to start our day off?
I actually think I will go
How well did
to,
my crafting go? Shall I roll?
I was gonna walk up to you and ask about a bayonet. Since I think I
yeah.
do have a gun, actually.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Which should be neat.
23.
With it being just an idea that you had last night, I'll say that you're probably, if you work on it for the rest of the day, you'll have it finished. Being that it is a larger piece of claw, and you're specifically fashioning it into... Did you decide on a machete, bayonet? What's the...
You know what? I'll say he should surprise, because I actually think either of them sound really friggin' sick.
Let me look into some possibilities.
Yeah, then just send me whatever ideas you're looking at, and I'll say, like, at some point today, you'll probably have it finished. Okay. Then we will jump over to... Seraphim, are you taking your medicine today?
No.
Give
Still
me a
walk
personality roll, then.
Oh boy. I'll roll this one. My smallest d4. Alright.
Did you finally go insane?
Alright. Time to go out for a stroll. Yeah, I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Mightily.
boy.
And rolled a
Okay.
1.
Where are you going this fine morning?
I think. See, Seraphim and Fashion. Fucking, he's this time he's taking off the lab coat and putting him on his old clothes. Finding his mask, putting it back on. Is walking to the is going toward the workshop to go and sharpen his machete and knife.
Alright,
They haven't
as
been
he's
used in a
there,
while.
he sees Stone and Raziel there working. Then, Maxon, what are you doing? Before we jump to Sorena.
I want to ask if I can make a survival check to see if I can handle the heat or not, because as I've mentioned before, like as I tried to make the point, people that have what Maxon has, like they only have resistance to cold, but for the heat it's kind of normal, so like a normal person would have, so.
Well, I mean, in the Hab unit, you're okay, but it would just be like, are you like wanting to go outside specifically and just like do something out there?
Yeah.
Just give me a Constitution roll then, instead of
All right.
survival.
Okay, 14. Constitution, I think 16, 17, and then a plus. Oh yeah, I'm perfectly fine.
I was about to say it was a low DC anyhow. Like it's hot outside, but it's manageable. It's not like over. It's just humid. But yeah, it's hot outside, but it's tolerable. What are you doing outside specifically? Just kind of walking around, or?
Yeah.
The caravan seems to be moving at a slow enough pace, like you're able to just kind of, as long as you're slowly walking, you're able to just keep up with it. And as you're walking, you see what looks like a book fluttering down from the top of the Hab unit down to you in a very familiar fashion. And you see the comic book land at your feet as you're walking.
Maxon looks down, slightly annoyed. Well, look who it is. And
It
he
doesn't
says
do anything.
He says again, so what can I help you with today?
It opens up and shows you a picture of a door.
Anyone else getting deja vu from this?
Boy,
Sorry,
what
I
fun
just
that
had
door
to-
could be.
Can
I
I, like,
wonder what's on the other side.
Maxon kind of
Oh,
like
boy.
Oh boy. He hold up, my chair's. I need to get a new chair. He just looks at the book. Then he starts thinking. I wish I knew more about you, but you refuse to tell me anything else other than what you want from me. You can't ask for something and then not expect to. Hold up. You can't ask me something and then not give me details on what it is you want.
After a moment, the book flips to a different page, and it shows a door, but then the pages flip, and I begin to animate a scene of the door opening, and the satyr-like figure walking out, and then he just kind of takes a triumphant stance. And it ends. And then he flips, and then it shows you a page of him in a cage. And a key setting right outside the cage. Just out of reach, it seems, for him.
That feeling's coming back. The one from from before.
Mm-hmm.
They can feel it, and he picks his arm up and he looks at himself, and he just has this feeling that kind of overtakes him a little bit, and then he puts his hand on the book and kind of just like runs 3 of his fingers across it.
The main thing you can think about right now, Maxon, is he feels trapped. You relate a lot to that. Trapped with no information. Nowhere to start, nowhere to go. Grasping at straws. You remember now that Alex said that most of the writing about these creatures they call Fae, they get turned into nonsense comic books and cartoons, so maybe he can't tell you anything about himself. Maybe this is the easiest way for him to communicate.
He finally gives in to, not entirely, but he leans back a little bit and just, how would I even do that?
He shows you a picture of a bucket of paint, a picture of chalk, picture of a pencil, picture of a marker. And then could you give me a perception roll?
Oh boy. Something tells me this roll's not going to be good. I don't know why. Yep, I knew it. 4.
Okay, as you continue walking, the book just shows that, and then it shows a cartoon caricature of you, Maxon, just drawing a door on a wall, and then opening the door, and then him walking out, and then you both shaking hands in a very comical way, both smiling very big.
Okay, now Maxon's demeanor kind of changes completely once he realizes that, much like him being stuck and just wanting to escape, he starts shaking a little bit, and then what he did the first time when he was testing out what he could do, there's these 5 little balls of like crimson red that are coming back to the tip of his fingers, and he's like, will this work?
After a moment, the book it just showed you a simple image of a red door and a thumbs up. Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Plus. I gotta remember if I can use that with. Where is it? Oh, here. Strength, dexterity, or con check. Okay. 13 plus the 3. And oh, it's my dexterity was already plus 7, so I'm good. Well, you said the saving throw, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, dexterity saving throw is plus 7, and I rolled a 13, so.
Okay, so dirty 20. Okay. Give me a second. So as you're walking and talking to the book, The ground begins to shake just a little bit. Little by little, bit by bit. And around the time you realize it, and about the time you start to kind of take a step and make your way back over to the hangar, the ground just kind of caves in or next to your feet, and you're able to avoid it. But there is now, could someone make me a circle on the first floor? I don't know how to make shapes. Much appreciated. We will say that it formed about right here, and Maxon, you are, where are you? We will say that you made it to about right here. And you just feel heat coming up from this hole.
Like more heat than what is already out.
Oh, yeah. Like,
He, as he starts to feel the heat, he kind of just like squints his eyes a bit and puts his hand up to kind of shield himself. Not completely, and then can I take like, so where am I?
I'd say you're about, I tried to place you about 5 feet away from it.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I was right where it was, and then I moved back when it started to open.
As you begin to move back and you shield your face from the heat, you just hear metallic scraping. What sounds like strange metallic voices as well. If you had to bet your money on it, dwarves. Is there anything you would like to do? I'm going to give you... I'm basically giving you your movement and probably a free action, bonus action, whichever, to kind of react to the realization that this is probably a dwarven entryway.
What do I want to do? See, I gotta think smart.
Do you tell anybody?
I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. What's that gonna take?
Just to radio in, I'll say just, yeah, your bonus action to like reach down, turn the radio on, or reach up and like hit the radio on your earpiece, and
What do I have after that?
you'll have your action
Okay.
if you want to like
I'm gonna go
dash or
ahead
anything
and-
like that.
I'm gonna go ahead and radio it in. I'm just gonna scream, guys, we got company. Can they feel it shaking?
Do what?
They feel it shaking?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The entire hab is shaking as another hole opens up near the front over here.
Wait a minute. I think I just noticed something. So I'm gonna, while I'm radioing it in, I'm just gonna tell them that I think they're trying to cave the ground in. That's what it looks like to me. Because they came right here, right here.
As you say that, another hole opens up right next to the hab, and you hear the brakes screech as it pulls to a stop. As you do see some of the ground in between here is beginning to kind of move towards the holes. everyone that is inside the hab would also feel as the automatic brakes kicked in and the hab kind of abruptly stopped.
Well, considering that, I think I'm gonna try to head back onto the caravan, because if something happens and I end up falling off, I think I might be able to take the impact pretty well. So, it's not like getting hit by an explosion or anything, so.
Okay, so you are going to spend the rest of this little encounter, so you make it into the hangar. What is everybody else doing? You've been... Maxon's come over the alarm.
May I go back like 2 minutes before this?
Oh yeah, of course.
Just to lead into a little bit. All right. I have a really complex question for you, DM. Where does one shower?
I'll say that in the probably somewhere here in the hab units, like where the big like habitation units were for the rest of the soldiers. There's probably some showers there. I'd probably even say in the quarters themselves, a few of them probably have like some washrooms, but yeah, showers are probably going to be somewhere in this area.
Definitely scrubbing off. Definitely not putting the spacesuit back on, because why? Put all those fucking holes in it. And to the dismay of everyone, again, about 2 minutes before any of this happened, you see a normal-looking person exit. It doesn't look like a ruthless killer, with just like a bag filled with all the armor and stuff, stepping out, hip pistol on the hip still, and then just kind of make my way to like the mess before all of this like breaks down, carrying my stuff with me, of course. Just kind of come down
having
here.
One of those home intruder during a shower moments.
No, I'm saying like I went downstairs before, and then like as I'm sitting and eating, enjoying a nice breakfast. I'm sure that's about when this call came through that things are happening.
We'll say that Alex was in there with you in the mess hall as well, having something to eat.
Yeah, she looks like an actual human for once. Not
Before
wearing a
anything
fucking
actually
spacesuit.
fully starts, how are we on time?
Yeah, I was about to say, this is
I
a good
figured we were-
place to stop if we need to.
Yeah, I gotta go.
I figured as much, so.
Just wanted to get that in before he left. That's where we're at today. Normal clothing, and then I'm gonna put my
Freshly
armor on
showered.
because fight. Yeah. From there, I'll just, of course, put on the armor without the spacesuit. Pending next week, I'll put that in there so you can. Not really that it's any different, but yeah.
Hell yeah. Is there anything else that anybody would like to add before we all have to get off?
If the windows are able to be opened up on that top, I would have gone into Overwatch immediately to try and. I would have gone up to the top floor.
Okay.
And
We will
pulled out
say
my rifle, and I would have started aiming at one of the holes.
Okay. We will say that that's where Raziel is. Where would Seraphim be going upon hearing this? Because we'll kind of we'll go over all of this again when we come back next session, but just to give an idea for everybody to think on.
Seraphim finally out and about, sharpening his knives, just it feels good to move. And then feeling all this rumbling, hearing it's gonna be dwarves. God damn it. And he's going to go to the armory where they probably have the rockets stored.
Hell yeah.
God damn it, finally, I was going to do my own thing. Why? Fucking dwarves. Again.
Looking good.
Oh, second note. Both eyes are red now.
I noticed that.
That bastard didn't turn the eye on, which was as simple as this.
And I wasn't looking. Do it again.
It's just a quick couple of bops to the right next to the eye.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Nothing fancy. Fancy futuristic technology fixed by
You had it on fucking factory mode.
I haven't really needed it yet, but just to be aware, when we leveled up that last time, I did swap out one of my infusions for the self-refueling ring,
Okay.
which lets me re-up 1 third level or lower spell slot once a day.
Very nice.
All right. Well, I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Good night.
See you next time.
Good night.
Peace. Night.
Alright, I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
In case anybody needed their heart ripped out, I'll just throw this at you one more time. Yeah, don't think about it too much.
Oh boy.
I've had that sitting there for a while, waiting, plotting. The sounds of memory. I'm particularly fond of the second one though, for it's like sitting on the steps in front of the mesto.
Yeah.
Silence. And memories as well.
I need to fix that image of.
I like how this moment happens right when I roll the 1, but even Sandy's smart enough to know, God fucking damn it. There's not much to stab on a robot, so I know a better method of destruction. Now I'm gonna have to make a whole thing.
I'm glad that Gavin.
Yeah.
I'm glad that she kept the idea that I was mentioning.
Yeah. I'm excited too.
I think now we can talk about it. Yeah, guys. So I talked to Gavin about it, and if anybody's gonna be the one to open the door, I really wanted it to be Max because he's just kind of like gonna be overwhelmed with the idea that somebody else that is not supposed to be here is also here, along with Sorena too. So he's just fuck it. I want to go home.
Here's a question I actually forgot to ask last week. How close do you think we are to leveling up?
You guys are
Fiending, aren't
probably
you?
pretty close.
I figured we were pretty close. I was just messing with you, picking at you.
No, I've been thinking about it too.
He's jonesing for a fix over
You know
there.
what else?
There's
You
one
know
thing
what?
I can't do till level 9.
There's always one thing you can't do until the next level.
Spirit Guardians.
Mhm.
I've been waiting for Spirit Guardians since we started this.
I got some shit for Seraphim at fighter level 7, but next level is fighter level 6. I was doing some math, and when he hits level 9, our proficiency bonus will go up to +4. And I have I'll have a that goes up. I'll have a fucking +12 in perception and a +13 in stealth.
God damn.
But then the next level after that, I am for sure going to be getting that alert feat.
Oh,
for
hell
Seraphim's-
yeah.
For Seraphim's Paranoid. That adds 5 to your initiative. So I'll have +10 initiative next level. But then the level after that, apparently one of the gunslinger's abilities is to add your proficiency bonus to your initiative modifier, so it'll be +14
shit.
to initiative.
Nice.
I refuse to go last. I just roll 1s constantly for 15 initiative.
Ever.
I've only rolled
Forever.
so far. I think I've rolled like good a couple like once. And every other time I've rolled them 2s. So I'd like to get a 16 at minimum, please. Peas and carrots.
Some peas and carrots, please. Peas and carrots.
Alright. Is there any other questions or anything that anybody has for me?
Aside from looking at that sword.
Oh yeah, Gavin.
Oh yeah, it looked cool. Sorry, I meant to message that.
Oh, you're good.
I'm gonna say,
Yeah, what's up, Robert?
depending on what you decide to do, if we actually do get to the point where Chivio gets free, just a consideration. If you do decide to save the level up for that moment, it would be cool if I use that level up for Maxon to have some influence because of him.
Okay. We'll see.
That's some food for thought.
Hell yeah. Alright, gentlemen. I will see you guys next time.
All right.
Night.
Night.
There we go. That's much better.
Or he popped off, or was it a question for him?
All right, there we go. I fixed the portrait. Looks better now. It's not a big fucking wide ass shot. I just grabbed one really quickly earlier because I forgot that I hadn't done that.
Look at her shine.
You might notice something quite disturbing. The force doesn't feel quite right because that's a fucking smile.
A smile.
Snake that smiles back. Goldfish.
Eyeliner.
Indeed.
She had all this otter
No.
before she became normal.
No, this was a post shower, as I said. So this is going on. This is going in the helmet too. So that's going to be unfortunate. The smudging. Hopefully, it's futuristic makeup and it doesn't do that. One can only hope. Sorry for taking most of the session. I wasn't really sure how that was going to go. I knew what I had wrote out, but I didn't know what he was going to do with it. So it was very interesting. And yeah, we got deep in the brain there. We were
I ain't
working
gonna
on-
lie, I was kind of expecting it already, since it was backstory time for you a little bit.
Oh yeah, and there's still more.
That's why I said a little bit.
We've already done the scratching the surface thing. Now we're like we've learned a bit. We're in there. We know some
Time to
things.
poke the deep fake.
There's some deep stuff. Probably past that, but it's more just exploring the specifics, specific interests.
Now I have to make a thing and fit Seraphim with a fucking rocket launcher. I had a plan, and then Kyle rolled a 1 and summoned the dwarves.
Yeah, he did that, and then he said a hole opens up, and it was hot, and I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, the instant he said that, I was like, okay, they're here.
And Somebody grab the
That was quick.
HMG.
That was
Let's
quick
go
thinking though.
gambling.
With like what I realized. Wait a fucking minute.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
I was like,
Wait a
sneaky
minute.
Wait a
little-
minute.
There was
You
something
sneaky
right.
little bastards.
Oh yeah, brain is clear, but my wrath shall fall upon them like
Momentarily.
something. I'll just landslide their holes back in on themselves. That ought to do it.
I hope so.
I haven't got to work on my it's my war crime project. That's arguably not a war crime, considering they can't really suffer. So it's just
Going to commit various war crimes.
it's just an object. I gotta get the molecular disintegrator on the way from that mining tool. They'll
Throw
like
up
us.
the Tesla coil.
They will do what?
Turn on the Tesla coil.
That might
As
not
a
be a good
trap.
idea.
Random thought.
Maybe. I don't know what it'll do to them because it may just it might be
Make 'em
like
stronger.
cocaine for them. just hop them up, make them crazy.
Basically, Thor charging up Iron Man.
Yeah, that there's a thought there. I'm hesitant to do anything that doesn't just disintegrate them.
Power at 300%. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
But yeah.
Doth
I'm-
mother know you're worth her
Yeah.
drapes?
I mean, I think that's an awesome idea. Like, Maxon actually lets Mischivio out, and then Mischivio's like, "Oh yeah, thank you. Here's a little level up."
I've been wondering when it would happen.
So yeah, we planned that weeks ago. We were just waiting until now to actually start going with it. So that's out of the bag.
Should I give?
I knew it
this
was either going to end up
personality-
being you or me because I failed on that last one too. Whether I wanted to or not.
Should I give this personality sunglasses?
Alright.
Alright.
I wish I could save this playlist I used for the sounds of violence. It won't let me save shit in fucking Anku.
The sounds
In,
of violence.
My custom sound pad.
And the sound of silence.
Because I need to save this particular playlist for when we come back to Britannitar or other things that may happen that are not on this planet.
What do you guys get?
I do not know what we're doing now.
I was thinking about playing some Magic because I've got some dailies I need to do. I was
Go for
going to hang out and do that, maybe. Or I'll do that tomorrow.